That's
Oh, yeah, I eat Snickers too. I bought me two and bought you one
watch
because
this.
you didn't watch what?
You gonna become a butter pecan lover too. Watch.
No, not with all them damn pecans in
Yes,
there.
you are.
I
You
don't like
already
all them
like
damn
it.
pecans in my ice cream. I don't like all of them pecans in my ice cream.
But don't you eat it.
I eat it because the ice cream part of it. But
Oh,
but Bluebell put too many damn pecans in the ice cream.
hey everybody.
What you doing? You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Hey.
you tripping.
How y'all doing? We are headed to pick up our daughter from work. Hey cousin Keisha. Hey Nikki. Hey
Just
Sharon. Hey
had to
Star.
not look out with this bro. Just had
This dude here.
to. What?
Hey Miss Virgo. One of the twins activated, y'all. What's not your fault? They say, how you doing?
I'm okay.
That's our
How y'all
hey,
doing?
Miss Pam. There, Miss Pam. Hey everybody. Y'all gotta excuse me if I don't call your name. These letters on here is like ant size. Hey Tony. Let me tell you. Hey Brittany. Deborah. In the middle of the day, right before lunch, or if you miss breakfast, Snickers really do satisfy y'all. I ain't gonna tell y'all no lie. Christy, hey. So what's up? That person Galen just made a video about y'all be nice. We nice.
Oh
We
yeah,
nice, y'all.
I just did that.
Hey,
Yeah.
sweet Linda. Listen,
You-
we good, y'all. We good. Everybody's good. Janelle, y'all excuse me if I'm spanking.
Yeah.
You want me to open your soda?
But you want some of it?
I'm drinking water.
Go ahead.
Hey, Galen and Risa. Hey, Miss Woods.
Hey.
So, I ain't gonna tell on him. I was at
What?
a meeting this morning. No, I didn't get it. You sent me a DM on Instagram. That prayer for y'all. Transparency is good and raw. Thank you, baby. I love the way you can pray and give it to God. Now you're smiling. I am. But listen, y'all. That prayer this morning was for y'all. Galen and I were already good at that point. Okay? We were on the road to recovery. Put it that way. So, I know I do want to address something, though. In my video, if y'all watch the prayer video, y'all saw me do like this. And then you do like that. And then what was going on was the room door was open. And so everything that was going on in the house, y'all could hear it. And it was distracting me from praying. And then my husband's phone rang.
Your
That's when
mom.
he walked out and he was talking to my mom. So I closed the door so y'all couldn't hear his conversation. So of course somebody thought I was pushing him out of the room because I didn't want him in there. That's not the case. I didn't want y'all to hear what he was talking about because personal conversation they talks about business. Okay.
But at first, I thought it was too, because he didn't like that.
Yeah.
I thought you said, get the hell out of here.
I was telling him to
Yeah,
close the door,
yeah.
to close the room
When
door,
I came back the second time, she pointed at it.
because the closet door was open.
I thought the same thing.
I had it closed. Galen came in and opened it, and he stood behind me and put his hand on my back. Okay, but he never did close the room door. So when he went, I told him to close the room, and he did. He closed. Then his phone rang, and he came back, and he was standing in the doorway. Y'all could see part of him, but then he went all the way out the door.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want him. I didn't want, cause see, I have a phone that picks up everybody's voice, okay, and I didn't want y'all hearing what him and my mom was talking about. That's their personal conversation. And so I closed the door that way y'all couldn't hear anything, and I continued on. So I just wanted to make that clear. That I would not try to disrespect my husband like that. Even if we off camera, yeah, we have our differences. Hold on, y'all. Woo! We on this highway. So I didn't come on here to clarify that. I came on here to chit chat to let y'all know we all right because my inbox is going smooth off. Do y'all hear me? Oh, wait a minute. I had a meeting this morning. The trip that he's talking about, there's no trip. There is no trip. It was a question that was given to us.
Yeah, we was answering
We
questions.
were answering questions. Galen has never liked the idea of being without me. Okay? He's never liked the idea of being without me. Now, I'm used to him being gone because he works, because of the way he works. And so I'm used to sleeping in the bed by myself overnight. I'm used to him having to work overnight. I'm used to things like that. Now, when it comes down to a 3-day vacation,
yeah,
I've
totally
never
different.
had a 3-day vacation away from him outside of me taking my girls and we went to my family house, and that was just 2 days. So, the idea of us being away from each other 3 days just sends him to a different place.
Yes.
So we tried to answer our video questions the other night, and it sent us into a disagreement because of the way that it all came out. So I just ended the video. I was gonna upload it, but he was like, "No, don't upload that," because it just was all over the place. It was not nice. It was not nice.
No,
We
it wasn't
weren't
nice.
cursing each other out or nothing
No,
like
we
that.
didn't
But I
do it,
just
but it
was
wasn't
like,
nice. I mean,
it was raw and uncut. Put it that way.
yes,
It was. It was raw and uncut.
it's always raw and uncut, but we kept going on, and we was back and forth a lot. And one thing led to another. You go to something else,
Yeah.
and
It just like it just carried on because
she got mad,
I got mad
slammed
with
door,
him.
walked out,
I left
hopped
out.
in the car.
I went and sat down in the car because I needed a timeout.
She took a
Because
long time out too, y'all. She was
my
out.
thing is, I trust my husband. I trust that whatever decision he makes is gonna be his decision. Okay. I trust my husband that if he goes on a week vacation with the guys, that he gonna do me right.
And to me, there's no such thing. I don't believe in that. That's me.
Okay.
I don't believe in the guy. I don't believe in a 4-day vacation. Sometime one of those days, maybe not be the first day, but I'm gonna start thinking about my wife, and in an intimate way. So I'm like, man, look, I'm like, and I got to be with them 2 more days. No, I don't need that. I don't have to have that. I go holler at them in one day right here in Jacksonville or wherever I'm living at for 4 or 5 hours and holler. We can't. You have a couple of drinks, kick it, whatever. At the end of the day, I'm going home.
Listen.
I can't be away from my wife. I don't want to be away from my wife 3, 4 days in a row. I don't know. That's just me. She always knew that, and I always knew that she was the type that could. She's outgoing. She meet people just like that there, and she can
Your
go.
husband the same way.
Yeah. Well, real. I'm just saying that don't mean that you can't go with your friends because women, y'all can go hang out with some women 2 and 3 days.
In a
Y'all have a
dangerous
good
world.
time.
It's a million things to worry about.
Yeah, and then all that be running through my head,
Yeah.
and she couldn't
Because
gather
whether
that.
y'all know it or not, Galen do me like that when I go to the grocery store. He be like, he'll call me, baby. Be careful, and I'm all good for that. You know, baby, where you going? He want to know And if I'm gone 2 or 3 hours, he calling the check, baby, you all right? And that's good. I understand that. It's just me. I just got so comfortable with doing things by myself for so long because I was the grocery shopper. I was the one that I always had the kids with me, this, that, and the other. And so now that I'm in this different area, so to speak, meaning y'all, you two, and our women's secret sister, our beautifully made I am group, that kind of stuff. Now that I'm into that, y'all are asking more and more about, Risa, when you gonna have a meet and greet? Risa, when you gonna have, a women's retreat? This kind of stuff. And so that's where I'm coming from with it. It's not that I want to be away from my husband, because if he could go and I still be able to interact with y'all, but he go and do something, I wouldn't want to have to leave him in the hotel room by himself, because I know he'd be like, what am I doing
Man, I'll be
until
all
I
right,
get
man.
through?
I'll be all right.
So you will be okay. If I went on a women's weekend,
No, on the women's weekend, just women. No, y'all go do your thing.
you would
But
stay
I'm
in the
saying,
hotel room.
no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't go. I'm saying I couldn't do it. That's the only thing you couldn't understand. I couldn't do that. I can't. I couldn't. I
I
don't
know
want to be
you
away
couldn't
from.
do it.
I don't want to be away from my wife no 2-3 days in a row. That's it. And if any man happy that you going out of town, that's
No,
a
it's not about him being
no. I'm
happy
talking about a
with
man.
being
I'm talking
okay.
about being
If he
okay.
happy,
If
that
it,
means
you got
you
some
getting
guy
on
say,
his
okay,
nerves.
baby.
It's a problem.
That's what I'm saying. So in a real man wouldn't want. They don't want to be away from their wife.
I know you
Three,
don't want
four
to be away
days.
from me. I'm not saying I want to be away from you either like that,
But you could.
I could. If it came up
See,
to it,
I could if I didn't have a choice. But if I got a choice, I wouldn't want to.
girl, my hubby don't like to go, but he
Mm-mm.
don't mind me going to have time.
Right. Well, she talking
But
about
y'all
spend
look
the
at
night.
this. Y'all look, and I understand now that I think about it, because
Appreciate it.
I know I have a good man. I do, but thank you for that, buddy. Galen
Appreciate it,
is,
yo.
Galen and I've
I'm
been
real
together
about mine.
30 years, y'all. We've been knowing each other, okay?
And I'm trying to get to 31 more. That's all, baby. That's all I'm
And so
doing.
that's a long time to be with somebody and not be apart, okay?
I want to do it just like your grandmother and your granddad did. To death, to God call them home. That's what happened. And that's why they separated.
Okay. So, that's where we at. But our conversation the other night, it just was a little hot and heavy, you know. Um I got a head on my shoulders, y'all. I mean, whether y'all think I'm scatterbrained or I'm easy or that kind of stuff, that don't even matter, because see, the heart that God gave me as a loving and caring heart, and I care about people, and I give the benefit of the doubt. I'm not gonna think the worst about you first. I'm gonna let you show me who you are. And so, with that being said, my protection comes in. He looking from a different point of view.
Yeah.
He looking at you. He's like, "Oh, okay, wait a minute, Teresa." And I
Hey,
hear him, and I know how my
she,
husband, Galen, is not one that like everybody, y'all.
wow.
Because there's some people that I deal with all the time. He'd be like, only because of you, Teresa, only because of you. And I understand that. And so this where we at. This where we at with it. I'm good with it. I just need him to trust me. And when I say trust me,
The trust there,
I know he say he trusts me, y'all. But my thing is, when it comes down to going on being with people that are not married, yours too, complete miles. All of us can learn from each other. The same way Galen has been a big influence in some young guys' lives. Okay, it's some guys that he deal with that's not married, that want to be married, and him and his friend, they have been a example to them as to how you overcome. Okay, that's right, Chocolate X. He is my protector. He is, and he's he can be a little overprotective. That I say, but he say there's no such thing. But I appreciate that though, because he do have my back. And I told him when we went to see Kevin Hart, Oh, you all right, boo? Girl, don't you ever apologize like that. I read it and I was gonna get to you as soon as I got off of here. Tell mama thank you. I love y'all and I appreciate you so much. We gonna talk.
Yeah.
That's Alicia and Mama Margaret.
I
He
understand.
wanted to know are y'all all right? Did you need us? Is what he's saying. But I think she just was saying she saw your video and she was praying for us.
So, so.
So we went to see Kevin Hart last week, and it was just little things, y'all, that just kind of do. I'm mushy, okay? Yeah, we try to keep it real, and I don't want that to be. I don't want that to be. Hold on. I don't want that to be something in a negative type of way, because the things that we overcome, we can help somebody else in their life, okay? So when we went to see Kevin Hart, as we were leaving, it was so crowded, y'all. It had been how many years since we've been to something, and it was that the Fat Boys was the last concert I went to,
Something like that.
okay? And it's the way that Galen grabbed hold of me. It's the way that he grabbed hold of me. It lit me up like a Christmas tree, y'all. And I'm not trying to be out here and just make people feel bad about not being in a relationship, but I just want you to know how certain things touch me, okay? And the way he had my hands, and the way we were moving, and he was like that. He was the what that when you playing football. Hey, Janae. Hey, when you're playing football and the dude got the ball and he running, but everybody blocking. What they call that?
Which one? The running back?
The running back.
The running back, and he had a block in front.
Yeah, whoever it is that's knocking everybody out the way.
Oh, yeah.
That's how he was.
The dog.
He was in front of me. He was making the way, and I'm like, oh my goodness. And he did. We both of us a little, but he ain't let nobody push him around. He had my hand. He made sure he had me behind him. He say, I can't let you go. So he had my hand and he had me tight, and that's just how it is. And it sent me to another level in my thinking about us and how he truly feel. And he didn't have to say anything. It was just all in his actions. Not that anybody else hasn't experienced that man holding their hand and y'all walking through the crowd, but it's the fact that he had me behind him. Come on, Chocolate Ecstasy, you just said he is old school for days. Do you hear me? And he did. And even when we went to what Janae say?
She said, mm-hmm.
Even when we went to Orlando for our anniversary, and we went out that night, and I don't know if y'all saw the clip, and we were out walking, going to dinner, and as we were leaving, we were gonna cross the street because our hotel room was across the street from Bahama Breeze, and the way it was a car just driving, didn't even slow down, but got ready to turn in where we were crossing, and he jumped in front of me, and he just put me behind, and I'm like, oh my goodness, it's like he's risking his life. You know what I mean? He just like he wasn't concerned about what happened to him. So what in the world? It helped me, and I know that we've been together for a long time, and I know how protective he is of all of us, all of his children, his boys and his girls, and the people that come into my life. Once he get to know you, Galen is like that about you as well. As long as you're not out to hurt us, and he gets to know you, Galen is like, he will be like that about you. Not that you need him to, but he will be concerned. Whatever we can do, he'll do it to help you if it's in our power. He want to make sure y'all are okay. He likes to. That's just how he is. Now, if you cross him in any kind of way or you hurt me, you done already messed up. He ain't going back there. Do you know what I mean? If I come to him and say, well, so and so got something going on, and I want to do something to help, he'll do it because I asked him to, but he ain't been involved no other kind of way. Because he forgive, but he don't forget, and he forgive. It's like he forgive to a certain point, because at that point now, he don't trust the wind that blows across you, okay? That's just how it is. So when it come down to us and him being like he is, it's a difference for me, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. Because I didn't have a father in my life growing up. You know, I didn't have that male figure to protect you growing up. My grandfather was there, but it was just limited. You know what I mean? I didn't have brothers um, to protect me. I didn't have brothers to care about me like that. I didn't have, I didn't have that male figure in my life. So when Galen came in, it all became new to me. I wasn't quite sure about it. I didn't know how to respond to it. And so even as teenagers, we got to the point where we were always together. Okay, we were always together. When we went to school together. When we got out of school, we were together. You know, after school, when we went to parties and gatherings, or we would go have a picnic, or we go to the movies, we were together like that. Unless for some reason we couldn't be together. And so I think the longest that we have not been together was when he went to prison as a teenager. Him and my brother went to prison together. I didn't say jail. I said prison. For those of you, he went for a whole year and a day. And I was, how old was I, 15 or 16 then? I think I was 16 then. And um, that was the longest year of my life. It felt like 10 years. That was the longest year of my life. And so I was 16 and he was 17. And he graduated behind bars. He ate, didn't you take the ASVAB too?
I had a pass all
He
that
had passed
before I
the
got in
ASVAB
trouble.
before he got in trouble. He was going to go in the military, but
Yeah.
he didn't get a chance to do all of that. And he took the GED. And what got to me, when you have a blessing that has your name on it, that blessing is for you. And when I tell you, Galen took the GED class while he was locked up, and then he aced the test so good. They gave him not only the GED, but they gave him his high school diploma. And they don't do that. You either get the certificate of completion or you graduate the original way. His grades were so good that they gave him both. And I was shocked because I kept reading it and was saying no high school. One said the GED completion, and then the other one said high school diploma. And so that was the longest time that we had been without each other. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And so us, the last, what was it, 2 days? The last 2 days we were not friends. We were not friends because it just so much that transpired, and it just hit in the wrong place. And we just, I just couldn't understand, and he couldn't understand. He felt as though I was ready to get away from him, but I wasn't. It's not something that I had even planned. It was an idea. It was a question that I've always had since I started YouTube. Um, it's something because I've had people ask me all the time, are we going to do a meet and greet? Are we going to do a women's retreat? So I put that question before him, and he has not given me the answer that I wanted. Maybe that's it. He didn't give me the answer that I wanted, and then um, you know, it didn't come across right. And so I got kind of perturbed, and I'm like, okay, let's turn this camera off. This getting ready. And I said it on the video, and I've deleted it. But I said it on the video. I was like, okay, y'all, this is getting real, because it was getting real, and I wasn't getting ready to hold back on nothing. And he wasn't either. Galen bite his tongue, but I bite my tongue more than he do. That dude right there. So um, I bite my tongue more than he do. I will hold back on some things when it come down to saying stuff. Galen won't. He's gotten better. He's 85% better. Okay, he still got that little throw them bowls kind of attitude. Yeah, he do. Yes, and then Galen is one of those people. You have somebody that's got that real aggressive voice that they can cut you with their words, put the fear and trembling in you. He got one of those kind of attitudes, but I got that stamina with mine, because I will ride with you. You can say what you want, but I will ride you like a bucking horse. Do you hear me? You can buck at me all you want. And it's like the more you push my buttons, the worse I get. I transform into somebody that you do not like. And I will go and I will go and I will go. I will go till I don't have no breath. I promise y'all, it's so many times the Lord has had to slap me in the mouth. He basically, the Lord will make me bite my tongue or so much you come on. Yeah. You be strangled. Yeah. And so that's when I know the Lord is telling me, okay, Teresa, that's enough. Where I bite my tongue or I get strangled and I'm coughing and I can't catch my breath. That's the Lord telling me, shut, that's enough now. Let it go. You don't went on. And that's just me, but I am trying to get better at it. And I have a tendency to overtalk you. I pointed out in the video, talk to my husband all the time, but we do each other like that. We finish each other's sentences sometimes. And it was to the point where people used to do, they used to sister because we used to finish each other's sentences. We it just was like that. I don't know. But so yeah, that's where we at today, y'all. We're gonna finish the video. We're gonna start over,
Yeah.
and we're gonna do better. But I believe this is something that I know the devil is using to try to separate us. Okay, I already know that. I already know that. And sometimes we go so hard that we allow him to separate us. And um, I know some of you say don't let it don't go to bed angry. I don't go to bed angry. I might be frustrated, but I don't go to bed angry because I can lay down and go to sleep. I'm not sitting there standing up looking over somebody wondering about how can you lay down and go to sleep. And it no, because I know at the end of the night I'm either gonna get my point across or I'm not. I'm gonna let it go and I'm gonna move on. It's one or the other. But once stuff like that happen, you gotta let me regroup. I have to regroup. I have to because sometimes I will shut my mouth and I will close my mouth on the subject. I will stop talking about it so that I won't go too far. And so I have to make myself, you got to give me a couple of days. Sometimes I have a conversation with me. Okay. I have a conversation with me, things that I might want to say, but I can't say it to him. So Galen is like not like that. Galen, when it's done, okay, he wants it to be like ain't nothing ever happened. I'm like, shoot, that ain't me. We total opposite. That ain't me. I'm sorry. That's not me. That's not my first, middle, or
Move
my
on.
last name. I'm gonna move on, but I'm gonna move on in the way that I see fit, so that I don't have any residual hanging on me. Nothing that I'm just gonna all of a sudden we having a conversation and I bust out. And you know that no, I'm gonna deal with it. I'm gonna either talk about it to somebody that I know gonna help me work it out. I'm gonna talk to God about it. Um, I'm gonna ask God some questions, and if He tell me you don't need to know, then I don't need to know, and I'm gonna just go on from there. You know, if I feel like Galen has calmed down some more, and I have calmed down to where I can ask him a question, or if he come to me and say something, and he's still jacked up on the level, he ain't dealt with it either. So then, it take me a couple of days to get to where I need to be. So today we good, okay? We fine.
We good.
We ain't cracking no heads over here. We ain't doing all kind of stuff.
Nah.
We just had a disagreement that we got to work out. Now, when that time come, if the time come for me to have a women's retreat, I'm gonna have to prep my husband. I'm gonna have to do something. I have to pray. We're gonna have to pray and ask the Lord to help him. He needs to be okay with me being gone, whether it's 24 hours or what. And baby, listen, I know how you feel because remember the night you had to leave me in the hospital?
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I wanted to act a fool, but I felt so bad, y'all. I was like, okay, I need to get some help. I need the
That
Lord
was
to help
crazy.
me.
I ain't never heard such a thing.
Yeah, they would not let him stay with me in the hospital. And for those of you that don't know it, what was that about 2 months ago, I was admitted into the hospital. I was having problems. I don't even know what was wrong with. They don't even know what was wrong with. I probably was under attack. Put it that way. I was going through. My heart was doing all kind of stuff. I couldn't eat. I couldn't do nothing. I was losing weight. I don't know what was going on. I was under attack. And so when they admitted me into the hospital and they sent me to another county, you remember that, Complete Miles? They would not let my husband stay with me. I was like, who does that? Y'all don't send me to another. But these are even doctors that were not my doctors, okay? They would not let him stay with me. And I was like, well, baby, and I basically told him, if y'all had told me that before you brought me here, I wouldn't have stayed, you know? But then I thought about it. I thought about the Lord and how he said he'd never leave me nor forsake me. How he'd always be there. And I know I needed my healer with me more than I needed my husband at that moment. So I told him, I said, well, it's all right. Because the nurse told him, say, well, you can go sit in the lobby. He said, I'm sit in the lobby all night long. I was like, no, I couldn't even see him sitting up in no chair out there and people walking past that you don't know. Somebody could do stuff to you. Yes, he did have me. God had me. I was in the bed. As soon as he got in the car, he called me. And he talked to me all the way home. And all I can say is, baby, I love you, I miss you. I had the boo-boo. I was acting like a true child. Y'all, my lip was hanging. I was like, I told that lady, you need to go talk to somebody because they didn't tell me that. When the ambulance took me to the hospital, that was one thing right there, y'all. Getting in the ambulance, whoo, that is a scary situation, honey. I was like, oh my gosh, are you serious? They took me from the hospital, so from one hospital to the next. And my husband had gone home to change clothes, and he couldn't ride with me in the ambulance because he had to drive the car. So he got in, and my heart was racing so fast, feeling bad. I was just going through all kind of stuff, and I'm just like, Lord, if this is my time to go, Lord, I'm ready. You know, I didn't know what to do, what to feel. I'm in the back because I'm like, Lord, if somebody pull up behind me and see me in the ambulance, that's what my mind when they creeping in the back of that hospital. It was like, where's the life in here? You know, it's like if and the way that they brought you in, like they was taking you straight to the morgue. That's what it looked like to me in the back of that hospital. Yeah, it wasn't nothing moving back there. It just was like it was dead. It was just eerie. It was like you were going. That was your last will and testament. Why couldn't he come with you? They say that's their policy that they don't allow. I don't know.
I ain't never heard.
I ain't never heard no mess like that.
Your husband. I don't know. That's what they said. They wouldn't let me.
And I felt so. I was like, oh my goodness. I was getting ready to put on my clothes out there, y'all. Somebody tried to call through. I don't know who it was, but yeah. Let me see what it said because it said you're live. I want to make sure the comments gonna come through. Okay, there we go. Hey, hey, hey. Amen. Amen. Well, thank you. Somebody say they be stealing organs. Yeah, I know the connection kind of bad up in here. Hopefully it'll get better by the time we get to the house. Hey, 17 who? But yeah, so that was my first time really feeling that separation anxiety. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, I felt the separation anxiety that night, and so um and I had to deal with it. Hey, Shannon. Hey, Ben. How y'all doing? So yeah, um, Galen made that video today, and I wasn't even with him. I was at a meeting about our meet and greet. So I had to meet with the what do you call it?
Sales coordinator.
The sales coordinators
Catering
at the catering coordinators at the hotel for our setup arrangement and the things that I want them to put in the room and all. So we dealt with all of that. So he was at therapy with Corey when he recorded that video. So when I did make it to him, he told me, he said, I made a video. And I was like, you made a video where? He said, well, it's not up yet. It was uploading, but I got a chance to see it before we left the doctor's office. All right, Shannon, how's the babies? So I was like, oh my goodness. He played it and put the earphones on so that I could hear what it was saying. I was like, oh my gosh. And then when I started reading the comments, I was like, Gayla, these people thinking I closed you out the room. They thinking I just, no, it wasn't that. I was telling him to close the door, to close the room door, and I closed the room door on him, my closet door, because he was in the bedroom.
You did. Your eyes said your eyes were saying something different.
My eyes were saying close the door. That's what it was saying. That's what I meant, close the door. You know, because you can hear everything. And you know,
Yeah.
when you praying, you don't want nobody standing there talking. You get what I'm saying?
I went in the
I know.
bathroom.
So that's why I closed the door, because I didn't want the distraction. So I closed the room door because he was having a conversation. I didn't want to be distracted, and I didn't want y'all to hear his conversation because Galen talk loud, and my iPhone pick up everything. I don't care what part of the house I'm in. Y'all, I could be back there in my room with the door closed sometime, and he's in the front. Y'all can hear everything he's saying. It picks up. I don't know what kind of speakers, what they did to this thing, but it works. Okay. Um. So yeah, he surprised me with that video. So we're gonna work on us. You know, a family that prays together stays together. Not just to sound cliche, but you know, where two or three gather, we gotta pray for each other and with each other. Okay. Yeah, the sound do amplify on the iPhone. And he was talking to my mom, and I didn't want y'all to hear his conversation. You know, I mean, hey, I learned my lesson by that. You should have learned your lesson by that. One time I was recording, and you walked in and asked me a question, and the camera I was live, it hadn't gone off yet. I was like, somebody emailed me and said, Risa, you need to go back and erase that video because I think it's some private information on that bad boy. And I was like, oh my gosh. When I went back and I heard it, I'm not gonna even. You look, Keisha say she remember that. Come on now. Yeah.
Keisha Richardson.
Yeah, that's Cuz. That's the way you call Cuz.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I don't know what I said.
I know what you said. He know what he said too.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I do. Oh, fast behind. Hiding the junk. Yeah, well, I was like, whoo, I was embarrassed, but I'm like, hey.
I ain't embarrassed, but I don't
But
remember
it
saying
did
that.
allow me to erase it. I was able to take that information off. Keisha said, yeah, cuz I heard it all.
Wow.
I don't even remember who it was emailed me, but somebody cared enough to email me and say, Risa, you need to